Hey everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 8, Episode 18, The Runaway Runway. Well, the season finale is finally here and we start off with everyone getting ready for Dorit's swimsuit show. Dorit is thrilled beyond belief because Corey managed to get the palm trees in through the door somehow. It's all about Beverly Beach. I feel like maybe one day I will get used to that name, but it's so bad. Vanderpump and Ken are in the car on the way over and Ken can't stop yawning. And Lisa makes some comment like, well, you'll be interested in seeing the girls in their little bathing suits or something stupid like that. Teddy and Edwin are getting ready and Edwin is questioning whether he should unbutton another shirt button. When in doubt, don't. That would be my answer to Edwin. If you're ever thinking about going one button further down, don't. Erica and Rinna are heading over together. Dorit's getting everything ready backstage, last minute adjustments on each of the girls. She's talking to the confession cam and she's saying how excited she is and that PK met her when she had her first swimsuit line. And I guess after they got married, PK asked her to give up her company to start a family, which she did. And we know how fulfilled she is by her children. You can see it in her eyes during that 3 to 5 minutes a day she spends with them. This thing is taking place at the Trunk Club. Camille also arrives with a friend. We find out that Camille is engaged to David. Yay, congratulations to Camille. Thankfully, David was able to see past the fact that Camille is a see you next Tuesday and that Dorit isn't going to name a strap-on after her, which I still think is a great idea. Also, weirdly, it seems as though LVP is taking credit for this engagement. I don't know how or why or what she thinks she has to do with it, but in her confessional, she's saying, I'm so happy she finally took my advice. What? What was your advice? To get proposed to? I mean, I don't know. Weird. All right, so now the show's about to start, and am I the only one? I didn't understand the curtain reveal. It was an enormous curtain that had to be 80 feet wide. PK gets on the microphone, and he asks the crowd to please draw their attention to the curtain behind him, which they do. The curtain drops, and it's an empty runway and seats. Was there something I'm missing? The palm trees? I've never been to a fashion show, but I don't think just showing people where they're going to be seated is like a big reveal. I don't know. All right, the show starts and, oh God, I hate to admit this. There are a couple of swimsuits that I think were really cute. There was a black and white one that I loved the geometric pattern on. I didn't love all of it. There were some like prints that I kind of hated, but overall I thought it was a pretty good collection. After it's over and people are applauding and Dorit runs in the back room, she's all emotional, and PK comes back there with flowers and she like shrieks, "Oh, my husband!" And she says, "I couldn't have gotten to this place without PK." What? You were at that place before PK. PK's the one that made you give up your company, remember? This is not happening because of PK. Then she says he empowered me to do the thing that I love. No, he didn't. He asked you to give it up and have babies. I don't know. I'm not liking this at all. And again, what does PK do with his time? Is his only client Boy George? Because the guy's got a lot of free time. That's why he had time to poke his nose into Nava swimwear and turn it into Beverly Beach. Don't ever forget that you have him to blame for the name. So the show's over. So now all the girls are sitting around on some couches having drinks. And Kyle says to Lisa, So, when is the Beverly Hills magazine cover coming out with Dorit on it? This is what I was telling you guys about. I'm remembering now, it was at the very end of the episode where we saw Lisa Vanderpump's birthday party. You see Lisa going into the building and talking to Mark, the owner of the magazine. And that's when they were doing another photo shoot without Dorit. And then there was never another word about it until now. LVP's sitting right next to Dorit, and Kyle's across the way saying to her, so yeah, when does that come out? And Lisa's like scrambling to, well, we're sort of not using the shoot that you were unhappy with, Dorit. Yeah, you're sort of not using it. And Dorit looked a little stunned, but not as angry as I thought she was going to be, not really as shocked as I thought. And Dorit said, I never had a conversation with Mark about it. And Vanderpump says, well, Mark didn't want any negativity attached to the pictures. And then Rinna said, you didn't tell Dorit? And Vanderpump goes, well, we just decided yesterday. And of course, Bravo's on it. We see a flashback of when the decision was made 1 month ago. So then Erica said, pictures you're using, will we still know it's Dorit? And Lisa goes, probably not. Yeah, because then we see what they're using and it's Dorit without her head. But honestly, it kind of went nowhere because Dorit did not seem that upset about it. In fact, Kyle then jokes around and says, why didn't you call me, Lisa? I could have modeled for you, and I don't even need a glam squad. Now that pissed off Dorit. So Dorit says to Kyle, Kyle, I value our friendship very much. And if there's something unresolved that's still bothering you, I would like to just clear it up right now. Of course, Kyle says, okay, yeah, you know what? I love you, I do care about you, and I thought I could get over it, but I can't. When we were in Erica's hotel room having that dinner, you were saying the craziest things to me, and I could not understand it. You were dragging me into that whole Pantygate thing. I was no part of that. And then she says, in an attempt to get closer to Erica, you threw me under the bus for some reason. She was saying that Erica's reaction to Dorit giving her the underwear was okay at first. She kind of laughed it off, and then Dorit said she left the room, and when she came back, Erica was mad about it. And Dorit is sort of implying that Kyle has something to do with Erica's reaction. And Kyle's upset, and she wants Erica to clear it up. She said all Erica has to do is say, Kyle had nothing to do with my reaction to getting that underwear. But Erica doesn't say anything. And so Kyle gets really upset because she doesn't feel like anybody has her back. And she gets up and she says, I've got to go. And she kisses everybody goodbye. She congratulates Dorit and starts to head out. And people are like, wait, Kyle, don't leave like that. Dorit says, Kyle, you can't kiss me goodbye and then leave like that. That's a little too Beverly Hills for my liking. Kyle said, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not going to be a phony kiss ass. So she takes off to go find Mauricio. In her wake, all the ladies are left stunned and trying to figure out what she was so mad about and what she meant by all that. And Teddy, who actually has it right, but should keep her mouth shut, says to Erica, I think she just wanted you to say something. It's like she wanted you to have her back and to just sort of let Dorit know that she wasn't the reason that you reacted the way you reacted. Teddy was spot on with understanding what Kyle wanted, but Teddy wasn't even around last season. She doesn't know anything about it, and her relationship with Erica is hanging by such a thin thread that Teddy needs to keep her mouth shut. Girl, sometimes you gotta stay out of it. And of course, to the confession cam, Dorit thinks that Kyle ruined yet another one of her special events. Here's the thing, Dorit. You brought it up. I don't know if Kyle had intended to bring it up at your fashion show, but you're the one that said, let's clear the air. So you kind of brought this one on yourself. Next, we are at Lisa Rinna's house, and she and Harry Hamlin are FaceTiming with their daughter who's in New York City. And then Harry's getting his hair cut. Somehow they're talking about how zen Lisa is this year. And she's like, yep, it's the new me. I'm staying out of people's issues. I wish she would have given Teddy her newfound advice. Now we're at Villa Rosa, and Ken and Lisa are outside having a glass of wine and playing with the dogs. So there's a new dog named Monroe that they've been fostering. The dog had some trust issues, and anyway, now the dog is playing happily with their other dogs and doing great, and Lisa decides she would kind of like to keep Monroe, but she doesn't like the name Monroe. So right there on the spot, she says, I'm going to call her Binky. Binky Boo. And then in the confessional, she's got the dog and she's like, don't you love it here, Binks? Okay. That dog is never going to know what its name is. The last scene is at Kyle's new house, and she's not all completely moved in yet, but she's having the ladies over for a special viewing of American Woman. When does that show come out? Does anybody know? I don't think it's out yet, is it? So all the ladies come over, not Camille, but everyone's there, including Dorit. And right from the start, Kyle wants to address the way she left the fashion show. And she apologizes to Dorit and everybody for leaving like that. And she just said, I wanted to get past it, but I just felt frustrated. And I'm sorry, that wasn't the right time and place, and I shouldn't have done that. And then she's saying to Dorit, I do want to move forward with you. I'm putting this behind me, and it's all good. And I really mean it. It's all good. Dorit looks a little guarded. I think Vanderpump says, are you good? You look like you have something you want to say. And she said, no, I'm good. But to the confession cam, clearly she wants to mull this over a little bit. She said, I do accept Kyle's apology, but I kind of want to think about it. Kyle is showing everybody around her new house, and they're just oohing and eyeing, and then she takes them in her closet, and she's just got like floor to ceiling Birkin bags and shoes and jewelry. It's just insane. And she makes a joke about how, like she has to get up on a ladder and reach all her stuff. And okay, but I will say, I mean, the house is gorgeous. There's a view from, I don't know if it's the master bedroom, but they're up on the second floor and there's a balcony, and you can overlook the swimming pool, and this pool is lit up, and it's lovely. It really is. I loved it. So then they all go to the room where they're going to view the show. And you see people's reactions. At one point, there was a joke that I think Kyle laughed harder than anybody else. But then there were some tender moments that people were getting teary-eyed. Teddy, to the confession cam, said that it reminded her of when her mom took her and her sister and they left her dad. And so it's like some sad stuff there. But after it was done, everybody just praised her and said how great it was. Dorit asked her if she thought her sisters would like it, and she said, I don't know, they haven't seen it yet, but I hope they do. I hope they like it. Kyle says to the confession cam that these girls, she may have arguments with them, but she really does love them all. They're her friends, and she supports them and they support her. So then, of course, this is our finale episode, and we end with all the final wrap-ups for each of the ladies. These were some of the worst, lamest wrap-ups I think Bravo has ever done. We start with Kyle's, which was horrible. Kyle's was that her new house was burglarized over Christmas, and that all of her handbags and watches were stolen and not recovered to this day, including irreplaceable things of her mother's. Yeah. Wow. Thanks for the pick-me-up, Bravo. Moving on to Dorit, we're told that all of her swimsuits are named after her girlfriends, and that the Erica was featured in Sports Illustrated, and that the LVP sold out in like a matter of minutes. And then they have to add the teddy bear never made it into production. Maybe next season? Oh God, you're so catty, Bravo. But yes, apparently she did not make one named after Teddy or Camille. Rinna's is just that she's planning a 90th birthday party for her mother, Lois. Lois is going to sing and dance, but only if Erica Jane teaches her choreography and helps her with her music. Stupid. Next is Erica. Her new book debuted at number 9 on the New York Times bestseller list. Then she also reveals that she spends $40,000 a month on everything it takes to become Erica Jane. I'm wondering how much Erica Jane makes. Like, is she at a loss, or does she still make a profit over that? She must, right? Maybe it's just a very expensive hobby. Teddy's, oh my God. Teddy and her family moved to a new house. They tell us that it's 4,300 square feet and that she got it for $4 million, which was $2 million off the asking price. This is the wrap up for Teddy? Are they like grooming her to be on the show with Bethany and Frederick? And finally, we have Lisa Vanderpumps. Lisa's Rescue Center has placed over 500 dogs into new homes, and then they say Lisa has no plans to adopt any more dogs. Lisa never has plans to adopt a dog. She just falls in love with them and it happens. That's what's going on there. They say that now she's hoping for grandchildren. Okay, so that is it for our Ladies of Beverly Hills. All in all, I personally enjoyed the season. I know a lot of you say that it was a dud. I really liked it. I will say that I think it sort of fizzled toward the end. But for most of the bulk of the whole season, I was entertained and enjoying it. I know I've been hard on some of them, particularly Dorit and Erica at the end, but I mean this 100% when I tell you that I don't want either one of them to go anywhere. If this show did not have Erica and Dorit, I don't think I would watch. I think both of those ladies, whether it was bad behavior or not, kept the engine running on this show. So as a viewer, I definitely appreciate that, and I would love for them both to come back. And I'm sure we're going to have at least 2 reunions, maybe 3, I don't know. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't yet subscribed to Jill Informed, please do so. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please click on the bell in the corner if you would like to get notifications every time Jill Informed has a new video out. I'll be back for the recap of the reunion next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Time. I hope you'll join me. Bye-bye.